What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic CM. It's episode number 16. And we start today's episode off with West Brom Albion at home on the back of the 3-0 loss to Everton in the last game, in the last episode. And West Brom, of course, surviving last season in the game, unlike in real life when, of course, they were relegated. But this season, right now, rock bottom of the Premier League and still winless in the division as well. So taking them on here at Turf Moor on the back of the defeat, aiming to return to winning ways in this one. And real briefly on West Ham as well. Obviously, Allardyce has confirmed his departure from West Brom is now going to be happening anytime soon. If it's not already happened, it's definitely imminent, no doubt about that. Who are West Brom going to hire to take charge now at the Hawthorns? Because you think about the past like 7-8 years, they've gone through quite a lot of managers. You know, obviously Steve Clark, Tony Pulis, obviously Darren Moore, Alan Pardew. Pretty sure Gary Megson came back for a bit, didn't he? I think so. Obviously Bilic got them back into the Premier League, and obviously Allardyce couldn't keep them up. Who are they going to take? Who's going to take charge of West Brom moving forward in the Championship? Because obviously they've got themselves a reputation, and they did have a very strong reputation quite a few years ago now of being the boing boing baggies, the yo-yo club. I think they need someone more long-term, you know. They've gone through a lot of managers in the past like 8-9 years. They want someone that's going to build a long-term project there at the Hawthorns and look for long-term stability. So if they are to get back to the Premier League, they'll be able to stay there for a little bit longer and try and become more established, like Burnley have been able to do. And in this game, as you can see, we took the lead here against West Brom Albion. Early on to the game through Callum Wilson. Reece Nelson denied twice, and I thought, you know what, forget it. He just can't get a goal at the moment, Nelson, so I just sweated it across to Wilson. He made it 1-0. Doubled our lead as well through Rico Henry, scoring his first goal for the season and second for the club, making it 2-0, and then 17 minutes to go. I know it's frustrating. I know it's irritating. I know it's bloody annoying at times, but guys, I mentioned this very briefly. Was it in the last episode or the episode before that? If you're looking for more realistic CM saves, you got to do this, man. You got to do this. I know it's annoying, but you've got to do this. Up those injury sliders. Dwight McNeil goes down after an aerial duel, breaks his metatarsal. He's done for 2 months. Won't see him again until January time at the earliest. I know it's annoying. I know it's really frustrating, especially when it happens to one of your best players and one of your best young players, like McNeil is for us, probably our best young player in this team. But you got to do it, man. Like you've got to do it because it's just so much more realistic. It's so much more challenging, and in a way, it's kind of not enjoyable, but it gives you a task and adversity to face, which again is realistic and a hurdle for you to overcome. So won the game though by 2-0. Baggy still remain winless in the division and probably going down in this game, in this season in this save. But regardless, following that, we took on the Red Devils away from home, Solskjaer's side. This was a really weird game as well. It was going to midweek, and I thought I'd get thrashed in this game, so I rotated like most of my side. I was doing alright for a while. To be fair, Pope made a couple of really good saves, so keeper still tied at 0-0. Martinez would head in the rebound though after that collision, as he would make it 1-0 for the host, but oh, this was so sweet to see, man, seriously. And I know, I should have just done the old L1 and double tap circle. Because he came through the Manchester United Academy, Robbie Brady. I don't think he played a senior game for the club. Might be wrong about that, though. But Brady coming back to Old Trafford after all those years and haunting the Red Devils there, scoring the goal. I actually thought I took it a little bit too far wide initially, but heck of a finish there. As he comes in for the injured McNeil and scores on his return to Old Trafford. Thought that was really fitting there. So, yeah, 1-1 back on level terms here with our mixed side. Red Devils pushing for a late winner to get all 3 points in this game and stop us from getting a big one away at Old Trafford against a side right now who are challenging for the title. It was all hands on deck in the final few minutes. I almost surrendered the victory. As I the point even right towards the end. Shambolic defending there, trying to clear it. Thankfully, Rashford's volley went wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So kind of revenge a little bit. Obviously, we lost to them in the FA Cup final last season 4-3 in that absolute thriller, Wembley. So kind of revenge to at least get a point against them there. That stopped them going top, and it means Everton remain first position by a point and have a game in hand as well. We're in 9th place right now though, still a couple of points off of a Europa League spot, and again, don't forget, only 5th is considered good enough for the Europa League for the board to be satisfied, though whilst that might be the case, we know 6th and 7th can also give it based on cup performances as well. So we're still in the top 10. We're still in the top 10. We're closing out the first half of the season and we're still there for now. I don't know how much longer we can stay there. We've got a very busy month of December coming. You'll see our fixtures in just a moment's time, but for now, we're doing enough. Whilst the board wouldn't be satisfied with a 9th place finish, you know I would take that every single day of the week. Still an academy update and a scouting update, and yes, finally he's turned 16 years old. That's a bit of a dodgy phrase to be shouting out right now, but yes, he's turned 16 years old, so we can promote him. Alan Coughlin has potential to be special. We've been waiting for this guy ever since we put him in our academy. Centre back, right back, left back. We're training on that weak foot. It's now 3-star as he came out of the academy with a 1-star weak foot. He looks really good indeed, 6'1", and again, I love the versatility as well. He can play right back, he can play left back, but I do believe centre half will be his best position. So very, very excited about this youth prospect, because that's what we've been lacking in the save so far, and I mentioned it many, many times before. One of the best ways to keep a CM save fun and unique and really, really enjoyable to play. Just look for those youth players, man, because they keep the save unique. They're yours. They're no one else's, you know. They're the wonder kids that you create yourselves. So, yeah, Coughlin coming out of the academy. They're excited for the guy. Hopefully he'll be as sick as his name is. That was a terrible pun, bro. Sorry. But he looks really, really good, though. And our first potential to special youth player getting a pro deal today. We've been waiting for a while. He's out of the academy. He'll definitely get a lot of game time in this team, no doubt about it. And possibly a replacement for the captain, Ben Mee. Definitely something worth considering. Still, following that, we had a 2-0 loss at home to Chelsea on the back of 2 very credible results against the Baggies and Manchester United as well. The Champions League winners there, winning with a double. Kai Havertz, who of course scored in the final, and then Ziyech made it 2-0 late on as well. Also, you mentioned Chelsea very, very briefly, and I mentioned about Kante and Mendy's stories and how inspiring those 2 players are, and you know how industrious and hard working N'Golo Kante is. The persistence of Mendy to not give up after being released by, was it again Cherbourg? I must say, I looked it up on Wikipedia, but I can't remember now. But the French side that released him, possibly like leaving the game for good. It's just a really feel-good story, you know. Like seriously, I didn't have a hat in the ring for who I wanted to win the Champions League final. It was a total neutral for me. I mean, my best friend is a Chelsea fan, so I guess in a way I was kind of pleased for him, of course. But then again, living in Manchester, you know, you want to see the locals happy as well. So really, I didn't mind who won the final. So good to see Chelsea win it. But mainly, again, for Kante and Mendy, those 2 stories there just really, really inspiring. And yeah, beat us there by 2-0 in the game. So following that, aims to get up to winning ways after no wins in our last 2. Crystal Palace away, Selhurst Park here in London. Took the lead very early and then doubled it as well through Aaron Connolly. The strike partnership between him and Wilson, 2 new strikers up top. The one thing I would say that I'm really liking about the pair of them is that they are just so in sync and they are so rapid as well. And that's the one thing we didn't have last year up top. If you think about it, last season, our main strike duo was probably Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez. If not, then Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. They're, you know, decent players, but they're not known for their pace. I mean, obviously, Rodriguez, to be fair, used to be pretty quick before his injuries. But regardless, they're not the quickest of players. But obviously Wilson and Connolly, both very, very quick off the mark. Not the quickest, but still very quick off the mark. So when we do play on the counter, which is, I'll be honest here, the most common way to play on FIFA, and it is the most effective as well. When it comes down to play styles in FIFA, it is just the most effective and the most common way to get your goals. When we do play on the counter, with Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez or Ashley Barnes or whoever else up top, to be honest here, it was like, you know, the players were running in mud for the most part, so it was hard to break free of a defensive line. But now Wilson and Connolly are in. These 2 have got the pace to get off the mark and get away from the back line as well. That's why we're scoring quite a lot of one-on-one goals at the moment. And again, this partnership they've got up top, man, what a fantastic decision. Just under $250 million to bring the pair of them in. That's a lot of money for a club like Burnley, but they've been worth their weight in gold, no doubt about it so far. And again, also in that game as well, you might have noticed I answered a question about it right at the end of the game. Alan Coughlin made his debut, didn't put a foot wrong, and also started the build-up for I think our 3rd or possibly 4th goal as well. Yeah, very excited about this 16-year-old centre-half. Also got a draw for the FA Cup 3rd round as well, and unlike last year, I know I mentioned it before, it was the luckiest cup draw I ever had last year. We went all the way to the semi-final without facing a Premier League side. Then of course we beat Crystal Palace to make the final. This year, no such luck. FA Cup 3rd round away at Aston Villa at Villa Park. So yeah, I'm never going to have a cup run like that ever again, where every single team I face before the Final 4 is outside of the Premier League. So Aston Villa away, that'll be at the start of January, and for our final game of today, Norwich City, newly promoted to the Premier League. Talked about Norwich obviously going back to the Premier League after 1 year back in the Championship. I mentioned when they came up to the Premier League a couple of years ago, it was sort of like they came up, you know, a season or two early, if you know what I mean. They got some great young talent, had some fantastic young players at their disposal, but they just weren't quite ready for the level of the Premier League. I'm excited to see what they do next season under Daniel Farke. I'm excited to see what their recruitment policy is going to look like for the most part, and I'm very excited to see if they can put up more of a fight than they did back in the season a couple of years ago. Also, don't forget, they had a couple of really good wins that season. I think they beat Leicester. I think it was Leicester they beat. I think they beat Man City. But of course, just didn't quite have the quality over 38 games. Will they be able to stay at 5 next season? Well, I guess we'll see. Recruitment policy will be an interesting one, seeing who they bring in. But very interested to see them back in the Premier League for next season. Anyway, in this game, we were trailing by a goal in the first half, and then 2 late goals through Aaron Connolly. Not Callum Clutch Wilson, but Aaron Clutch Connolly saw us turn the game on its head and win it, which means that we're going to go for the halfway point. We're in 9th place. We're only 5 points off Liverpool in 5th. Fantastic first half of the campaign. The question is, can we maintain it, and can we break in to Europa League spot? Well, I guess we'll find out. But that will end this episode of the Realistic CM, guys. Big thank you for watching if you have enjoyed it. And if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic CM, as the January transfer window will open very soon.